I used to think changing meant leaving parts of myself behind. Like if I grew, healed, or became someone different, then maybe I was betraying the man I used to be. Like if I laughed again, I must not have loved deeply enough. If I moved forward, maybe I didn't grieve enough. If I found peace, maybe I forgot the pain too quickly. But that's not how it works. I'm Chris, and this is the seventh paradigm. There's a strange guilt that can come with healing, a quiet feeling that if life starts getting better, you must be doing something wrong. Because pain can become familiar, sadness can become identity, and struggle can become the story you tell yourself about who you are. And when you've lived in that place long enough, growth can feel uncomfortable, even suspicious. You start asking yourself questions like, who am I if I'm not hurting anymore? Who am I if I'm not the broken one? And who am I if I'm no longer surviving, but actually living? Sometimes we stay stuck, not because we want to suffer, but because suffering becomes familiar. And familiar can feel safer than unknown. I know that feeling. There were seasons in my life where pain became part of my identity. The man who lost, the man who carries regret, the man rebuilding, or the man trying to figure it all out. And while some of that was true, it wasn't the whole truth. Because I was also creative. I was loyal. I was capable. And I was still worthy of joy. But pain has a way of shrinking your self-image until all you can see is what happened to you. That's dangerous. Because eventually you stop seeing yourself as a person with a future and only see yourself as someone with a past. And that mindset will keep you frozen. There came a point where I had to ask myself something hard. Was I honoring what I lost, or was I hiding inside of it? That question changed a lot for me. Because there's a difference between remembering your pain and living inside of it. There's a difference between respecting the past and refusing the future. There's a difference between carrying scars and worshiping wounds. Healing doesn't erase what happened. It doesn't mean it didn't matter. It doesn't mean you didn't love deeply. It doesn't mean the struggle was fake. It just means the story keeps going. And maybe that's where many of us get confused. We think we're becoming someone new means abandoning who we were. But real growth doesn't erase the old you. It builds on them. The man I was in pain still matters. The man who survived still matters. The man who failed, learned, loved, lost, and kept going still matters. He just isn't the final version. But none of those seasons were wasted. They were training. They were shaping. They were chapters. But chapters are not the whole book. These days, I can feel parts of myself returning that I thought were gone forever. Joy, curiosity, creativity, connection. Not because life became perfect, but because I stopped believing I had to stay broken to be real. I stopped believing pain was the only proof that something mattered. And maybe you need to hear that too. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to laugh again. You are allowed to build again. You are allowed to love again. You are allowed to become someone your past never imagined. That isn't betrayal. That's growth. That's life. And maybe the next version of you isn't someone fake or unfamiliar. Maybe it's the most honest version of you yet. Different life, different you, but stronger because of where you've been.